Are you relocating to Northern Virginia? If you are planning to move to Northern Virginia, then stay tuned to find out the good, the bad, and the ugly truth of living here in Northern Virginia. Hi friends, I'm Amy Robinson, a licensed real estate specialist here in Northern Virginia. If you are considering a move to the Northern Virginia area, you'll have lots of questions about where to settle in and what's great and not so great about the Northern Virginia area. Most people define Northern Virginia, or as we locals like to call it, NOVA, as including Arlington, Fairfax, Loudoun, Stafford, and Prince William counties, as well as the independent cities of Alexandria, Falls Church, Fairfax, Manassas, and Manassas Park. Since Northern Virginia is not incorporated, the boundaries are not clearly defined, and some would extend the Northern Virginia region further out from Washington, D.C. to include Clark, Warren, Culpeper, Fauquier, and Frederick counties, as well as the independent cities of Fredericksburg and Winchester. Basically, if you already live in Northern Virginia and you commute into Washington, D.C., chances are you're living in an area most would refer to as Northern Virginia. So what makes Northern Virginia great? First, let's talk about the pros. Location. Northern Virginia is close to Washington, D.C., and if you work in D.C., access to commuter routes is fairly easy whether you drive by car or take public transportation such as the metro or bus. Plus, the views tend to be beautiful on the way into Washington, D.C., which leads me to my next pro. We have 4 seasons here in Northern Virginia. Right now it's winter and we do get our fair share of snow here, but you can expect a beautiful spring full of gorgeous blooms and allergies, and the summer brings the hot temps. But we are close to nearby beaches for when you need to cool off. Fall here in Northern Virginia tends to be a favorite season among locals, especially as you travel west and take in all the idyllic scenery. Northern Virginia is great for everyone. Families and single social butterflies will love how much we have to do here in Northern Virginia. With Northern Virginia's population being one of the most racially, culturally, and ethnically diverse regions, you are certain to find the perfect social clubs and family-friendly activities that fit your needs. We have tons of all-year-round indoor and outdoor activities and lots of pet-friendly places too. We also are host to some of the best restaurants around, and you can check out the many diverse cuisines from around the world right here in Northern Virginia's restaurant scenes, which range from Michelin star restaurants to famous food trucks. Now let's talk about the bad of Northern Virginia. One of the biggest negatives here in Northern Virginia is the traffic. We have some of the worst traffic congestion in the US. With many people choosing to live away from the city and commuting to work, this creates tons of traffic. This is something you'll want to factor in when moving to Northern Virginia if you'll be commuting into Washington, D.C. daily. Another drawback of living in Northern Virginia is the cost of living. For example, the average price of a 3-bedroom single-family home in Loudoun County was over $600,000 in 2021, and prices are still trending upward right now in 2022. Some of the most expensive areas to live in Northern Virginia are Vienna, Great Falls, Clifton, and some parts of western Loudoun County. One last con of living in Northern Virginia is the need for having a car. This is especially true the further away from Washington, D.C. you choose to live. We do have wonderful public transportation and amazing bike trails, but most people will need a car to enjoy all Northern Virginia has to offer. Overall, living in Northern Virginia has many perks and boasts tons of things to do, but it is going to cost you more to live here than neighboring areas. I hope this information was helpful in learning more about Northern Virginia. If you have something you'd like for me to talk about in future videos, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in today, and please help me grow my channel by subscribing, sharing, and liking this video. See you guys next time. Bye.